You rested. You slept. You took a break. And yet, your mind still feels exhausted. That confusion is more common than you think. Because what most people call rest doesn't actually rest the mind. It only pauses the body. There's a difference between physical fatigue and mental overload. Physical fatigue comes from effort. You work, you move, your muscles tire, you rest. They recover. It's simple, it's predictable, it makes sense. Mental overload is different. Mental overload comes from input, from the constant stream of information flooding your consciousness every single moment of every single day. And you can eliminate effort without reducing input. That's why sleep alone doesn't fix it. Your body shuts down, your muscles relax, your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens. But your mind keeps consuming. Think about how most people rest. They lie on the couch with a screen in their hands. They go to bed, scrolling through feeds they've already seen 3 times that day. They take a break, while absorbing more information, more opinions, more content. News, messages, videos, notifications, emails, comments, threads. That's not rest. That's passive consumption. Your brain is still working, still processing, still filtering, still reacting. So when you wake up, it doesn't feel refreshed. It feels full. This is why you can sleep 8 hours and still wake up mentally tired. Because mental exhaustion is not caused by lack of sleep. It's caused by lack of silence. Your mind needs space the same way your lungs need air. Without space, everything feels heavy. Focus disappears, motivation fades, small tasks feel overwhelming. You stare at your to-do list and feel paralyzed, not because the tasks are hard, but because your mind has no room left to process them. And then you blame yourself. You think you're lazy, unmotivated, undisciplined. You wonder why everyone else seems to handle it better. But nothing is wrong with you. Your mind is simply overloaded. Imagine a computer with dozens of tabs open. Even if you stop using it, it doesn't instantly recover. Each tab is still running in the background, still consuming memory, still draining resources. It slows down, it freezes, it becomes unresponsive. That's what mental overload looks like. Not burnout, not illness, just too much running in the background. This is why productivity advice often fails. It tells you to do more, optimize more, push harder. Wake up earlier, build better habits. Try this new system, use this app, read this book. But effort doesn't solve overload. Reduction does. Mental rest requires emptiness. Not stimulation, not entertainment, not distraction. Emptiness. That feels uncomfortable at first. Because your brain is addicted to input, it's been trained to expect constant stimulation. When silence appears, your mind reacts. Thoughts rush in, anxiety spikes, urgency appears out of nowhere. Suddenly you remember 17 things you need to do, problems you forgot about, conversations you need to have. That doesn't mean silence is bad. It means your nervous system has forgotten how to slow down. Silence is not the problem. Silence is the cure. But it works gradually, not instantly. This is why short breaks don't help. 5 minutes of rest surrounded by stimulation does nothing. You put your phone down, but it's still next to you, still visible, still pulling at your attention. You close your laptop, but the television is on, the radio is playing, someone is talking. Mental rest needs distance. Distance from screens, distance from noise, distance from demand. This doesn't mean disconnecting forever. It doesn't mean quitting your job or abandoning your responsibilities. It means choosing when your mind is allowed to consume and when it is allowed to simply exist. The people who feel mentally clear are not doing less. They are processing less. They protect their attention like it's their most valuable resource, because it is. They understand that rest is not about stopping. It's about creating space. Space for thoughts to settle, space for the nervous system to calm, space for clarity to return. So what does real mental rest look like? It looks like mornings without screens, evenings without inputs, moments without explanations. It looks like sitting without a phone, walking without a podcast, eating without entertainment. It looks like boredom. And at first, boredom feels wrong. Because we've been taught that every moment needs to be filled. Every second needs to be productive or entertaining or educational. But your mind doesn't need more information. It needs time to process the information it already has. Think about the last time you had a genuine insight, a real idea, a moment of clarity. It probably didn't happen while you were scrolling, or working, or consuming content. It probably happened in the shower, on a walk, during a quiet moment you weren't even planning. That's not a coincidence. Clarity doesn't come from input, it comes from space. If you want real mental recovery, start here. Reduce input before increasing effort. Silence before stimulation. Space before productivity. Start with 10 minutes a day. No phone, no music, no distractions. Just you and nothing. It will feel strange. Your brain will resist. You'll feel restless, uncomfortable, maybe even anxious. That's normal. That's the addiction talking. But if you stay with it, something shifts. Your thoughts slow down, your breathing deepens, the urgency fades. And slowly, gradually, your mind begins to clear. Because rest is not a reward for hard work. It's a requirement for clarity. And clarity only returns when the mind has room to breathe. So give it room. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Because your mind is not broken. It's not failing. It's just full. And it's time to empty it.